Alright, YouTube, it's T-Man again, back with my ABC Knightmare deck profile. I did edit it, and I just let y'all know, 2 weeks ago I got 4th out of 13, or top 4 out of 14th at my locals, and then this week I updated my deck, and I got 10th out of 33. I went 3 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws. One of those draws was my own fault. I could have won that game. Anyway, alright, and this will come with a side deck. And there are some times where I will tell y'all that I'm going to move some cards out, but I'm just going to show y'all what I played. Anyway, here we go. Alright, like last time, Triple A, Triple B, and Triple C. Like I said before, just really standard in the deck. Threes, you have in my build, I always need 3. Next, here they come again. Gold Gadget and Silver Gadget, just same combo pieces in the deck. Next, Goblin Burr. Goblin Burr still a real good target for Rhoda, and just increases for Link summoning. And again, Trick Clown for that nice Knightmare fodder, or just that foolish fodder, yeah. But it still helps. Next, I did take out Waking the Dragon, specifically because for the longest time I wanted to put Snow Rabbit in my deck, because I always hated going against the card, but if I could use the card, I would love it. And this card did help me today at my locals. Yeah, it worked out amazingly. Like, because when you get done with the combos, you at least have 7 cards in your graveyard that you do not need anymore. So I took out Waking the Dragon and the Ultimate Falcon completely, and yeah, this just was the overall better card for that. Next, Photon Thrasher, double. This does help, but I will be taking them out for Sky Striker, Mech, Hornet Drone, simply because y'all know I am running one-time passcode, and Link Spider, well, one of my friends brought up that Sky Striker Ace Kagiri, basically you summon this, activate this, summon a token, use the token Link summon the Kagiri effect, add this back, and special summon another token. Basically, you're going to get into Knightmare Phoenix and then Knightmare Mermaid faster. It's just with 1 card instead of using like 2 out of your hand. So it helps with resources. I am still going to be running one-time passcode even with this, because it is still a monster with a different name. And it's a free summon. So yeah, I will be taking that out. Next, still running the Ganchia. Ganchia still helps. It's really good. It's, like I said before, really good discard fodder, and just helps you with those more links. Next, I did say that you do not need this card in the deck, but it does help. Most people are starting to take it out, mainly because people can just use Knightmare Mermaid to link summon, but I do find Knightmare Ibly does still help this deck for more links, and it allows you to go into Ib, which I did put in the deck. If you don't know what she does, she prevents, when the owner of the card uses her for a link summon, or when it's sent to the grave, you can special summon it to your opponent's side, and also the controller of this card cannot link summon, so you have to make sure you link summon with her first. So she's still good. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Next, Triple Union Hanger. Very standard. Honestly, I did come across a lot of hands where I did not need Union Hanger at all to get to my boards. You just have to think your way through it. I honestly can't remember the times it happened where I didn't even need Union Hanger. So I do apologize if y'all ask for combos where those situations happen, but I can't. And I'm running 1 Rhoda next. Even though I'm still taking out the Photon Thrashers, losing 2 targets for Rhoda, I still will run it because I still have Goblin Bird, and it's still going to be a viable piece in the deck. Next, and of course you already know, triple terraforming. Terraforming just, I did notice that a lot of times that it does pop up in my hand to where I can bait out my opponent. And like I said, with Awakened Dragon, I love trying to bait out my opponent. But almost any time I activated something, any time my opponent had a hand trap, I had Awakened Dragon. There was only one time in the day where I lost, or where my opponent activated a hand trap when I activated something, and it was a droll. Yeah, and I didn't have it, sadly. Next, one Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial, just real good. It helps get your pieces out when you don't have Hanger. Helps get that Trick Clown out. And it's a really good deck thinner. Next, I did bump down one time Pasco down to 1 because after you use it for that Link Spider, and again, I did say I was going to take it out. It's basically useless, and it's once per turn only, so if it can break your hand. But still going to run it. Mainly because even though you're already using your Link Spider, if you go further into your combos and you just need that extra little monster for maybe that one extra Link or so, right there, one time Pascal will do it for you. And next, for the monsters that special summon from grave, Monster Reborn, just very, don't even have to tell you why I'm running it. Still running one Iron Call, just that extra Monster Reborn. Some people don't even know what it does. I find it hilarious. Next, still running one World Legacy Succession, another Monster Reborn. This card is only $1, and it's Monster Reborn. So, to be honest, I would pick it up and run it in your deck. Even it's just, I love this card so much. And then next, you already know, I'm running Soul Charge. Soul Charge, amazing in the deck. I only used it once today, and my opponent scooped right after I used it, basically. So, yeah. Next, Double Pot of Desires. Desires, just you're running so many combo pieces, you might as well just run your Desires. I did banish Ibly a couple times, but banishing the Ibly didn't hurt me. It honestly didn't hurt me, and I didn't banish all my pieces during the day, so I did banish some, but not all. And then lastly, I am running Call by the Grave. Still, this card, you still need to try to protect yourself from your opponent's hand traps during your turn. You can exchange this out for maybe a couple more combo pieces, but then you gotta remember then you're just making your entire deck a combo deck, and then you're relying on your Buster Dragon and your extra deck monsters to do all your work, and you don't want to put that much pressure on your extra deck. I did end up using almost my entire extra deck today. I ended up not using my Link Spider. I only had one card in the extra deck left today. Alright, that's it for the main deck. Next, the extra deck. Alright, first I'm going to show the Nightmares. Anyway, first, one Knightmare Griffin. Knightmare Griffin, just the really standard Nightmare in the deck. Honestly, I don't use him as much as I used to, but even though I don't, the boards are really still good. You still need him. You do use him a lot. I'm just saying you don't use him as much as you did with the other deck because you want to still try to get Ibly. Alright, next, Knightmare Unicorn. Same thing as Griffin. Unicorn is now basically a monster you use during your second turn or going second, your next turn, or if you're about to use Soul Charge. Next, Knightmare Goblin. Knightmare Goblin just allows you for that extra normal summon. Just to let y'all know, because I did have an opponent think that you can't activate Goblin's effect. So I activated Goblin's effect, and I told him I was extra normal summoning, and he said I couldn't because it wasn't co-linked. Yes, Goblin's effect does have it worded differently than the other Nightmares, but his effect still is the same as the others. You get the effect you discard for, and it's only if it's co-linked you get the draw. So it doesn't have to be co-linked to get a normal summon. Next, Knightmare Phoenix. Since I have Ibly in the deck, I am going into Phoenix first turn and just sending it to the grave because I'll end up putting Cerberus on the field next. Or I won't put Cerberus on the field next at all. And you got to remember this. I do use this as 2 pop spell and traps more when I go second. Or if I don't use it at all sometimes. And then I use Cerberus to protect my monsters. And it's very rare when I pop their monsters on their board. Especially if you go second. Next, one Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. Now, the reason why I was running the Baguska, well, because I do have Ibly now. Ibly just makes it where I can go into Ib. So, I go into Ib because then you will summon your Buster Dragon on that Ibly, or next to the Ib, because that way, if they Raigeki you, you can just say, I'll send this to the grave and make it where the Buster Dragon can no longer be destroyed. So, this is really good card in the deck. Next off, Knightmare Mermaid. So, I do remember last time I told y'all that I almost never used Knightmare Mermaid in the last build, and that was specifically because I had no use for her, because I couldn't get Ibly out. So Knightmare Mermaid now has a purpose, and it is for that mermaid, for the Ibly. Next off, double Underclock Taker. Underclock Taker, don't use him as much, still very viable in the deck, just like I said in the last video. And I do use his effect a lot when he's summoned on the board throughout the game. Next, Link Spider. I am going to take out Link Spider for Kagiri, simply because Kagiri is just a first turn with a Sky Striker Mech Hornet drones. Just because with that, it's a 1-card Link ladder. Next up, now, just to let y'all know, since I did take out the Ultimate Falcon, I did put in another Link monster, Deco Talker. Originally, I was going to run Gaga Cowboy because of the new end-of-match procedures, which that is why I got the draws, was because of the end-of-match procedure. Because I was going to... Because, just to let y'all know, Trick Clown did make it where it's not only Trick Clown's fault, it was my fault. I was trying to overextend and keep me safe, but that's not what happened. So I messed up myself. But Deco Talker does help. If your opponent summons a Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon, depending on where they summon it, guess what? You're using this. You're gonna use this, and you are going to attack that Ultimate Falcon and just crash into it. Because if you summon 2 monsters and the Link Markers points to you, and then if the Ultimate Falcon's pointing up, then you just have a 35 beat stick and you're in crash, and then it helped me win my game 1. Alright, next I am still running the Trigate Wizard. Trigate Wizard, still so good. One of the reasons I could have won is the double piercing damage when it's co-linked, the other monster's co-linked. It's just really good. It helped build so much damage. And then lastly, I am running triple ABC Buster Dragon. And yeah, I don't even have to explain this card to tell you why I'm running it. Just because, yeah, it's ABC Buster Dragon. Why else would you run it? Wouldn't you run it in an ABC deck? Alright, and that is it for the extra deck. Now I'm going to go into the side. There are cards in here that I am going to take out because of the new end-of-match procedures and because of what's being ran at my locals. So one bonus to running Kaguri is it's a cherries target for when you're when you're getting the match against Sky Striker. And then next for another hand trap, Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre just really good. Mainly used against decks like Knightmares or anything else. But that's about it. Effect Failure. I don't have Ash, and Effect Failure is just the next best thing compared to it. Sadly, it can't negate spells. And yeah, that's about it. Next, I'm running one Raigeki. Raigeki just didn't really go into Raigeki so many times. Or I did side into it going second, but it just helps so much clearing your opponent's board. Next, Mind Control. Mind Control did help me out a lot. Or not a lot, but I played against a BA player. He summoned Blackluster Soldier on me, and he tried to banish. I activated Valor, and then during my turn, I took his Mind Control, and I banished the Dante he had on board. So Mind Control really helped. Next, I am running one Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, there are cards in the side deck I'm going to take out so I can run a second. Simply because of Field Spells and Sky Striker. Sky Striker, you just need to be able to pop their back row. And with this deck, you need to get all of the cards in hand as possible. So I can't run Twin Twisters, and because of the new Intermatch procedures, I kind of want to stray away from Cosmic Cyclone, especially since I'm also running like Soul Charge and Trick Clown. Next, these are two cards that are about to come out of the deck ASAP, and that's Red Reboot. I never got to use these, really, and even if I'm able to, they're just going to hold me back or make it where my opponent wins, especially because if I'm going siding him second and there's only, say, 10 minutes left in the round. My opponent can stall after I activate this. I'm going to actually side in Shared Ride for Sky Strikers, because if you don't know what Shared Ride does, each time they add a card from the graveyard, you draw a card, and Sky Strikers add a lot from the graveyard. Alright, next, Double Anti-Spell. This can slow down Sky Striker. And yeah, that's basically all it's used for, is slowing down Sky Striker. Next, Solemn Judgment. Also a card coming out because it's not really, to me, it's not really good. Or it is good, it's just an end of per match procedures kind of slows it down. It's really better for going first, and if I'm going first, game one, I'm going off. Next, Mask of Restrict. I'm going to try to find my second one. I couldn't find it, that's why I'm only running one. This is for Lair of Darkness. This basically tells your opponent they can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's it for the deck list, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, and just to let y'all know, I have tested with Summon Sorceress. I wish I was able to use her. When I am able to use Summon Sorceress, I'm going to be able to take out Decode Talker, simply because she will extend. Basically all you do is when you get two of your Knightmares out, you're going to link them, summon her, and she's going to help you go into your Knightmare Griffin. So that's really mainly the use of her. And also I have her for a Cherries target. But that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe. Comment if you have of what you think of the deck. I am going to try to attempt to get one of my friends to do a duel with me, because I honestly want to try to show y'all the deck in action rather than show y'all combos, because it's honestly you can see as many combos as you see and see that they're broken, but they can also be stopped easily. So, but anyway, guys, thanks again. T-Man signing out.